Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. Whoever the SBC guy is at EA releasing this content deserves some flowers right now, because we have had some of the better, cheaper, more affordable SBCs that we have had in quite some time, and that continued yesterday with the return of guaranteed promo pack SBCs. The good news is there's probably more of these coming and everyone's going to be able to afford it, but it's not all good news in this game right now, as EA dropped a random patch yesterday without warning that seems to be causing more issues than anything else. Plus, we have a very big icon player SBC leaked, continuing with the SBC conversation, and a card coming in Future Stars Team 2 that looks like it should be a footies card. Let's discuss, guys. If you're excited for it, drop a thumbs up on the video, hype the video, and subscribe if you are new. Now, let's dive into the video today by looking back at yesterday's day of content on Tuesday, which started with a new update. And I mentioned that in the intro, this random patch that EA is dropping. Most of the time they give us a heads up on when they're going to drop patches, just like they give us a heads up when they're going to run maintenance, which is happening basically right about now as I'm recording this video. I might have to do the whole video on the web app or on Footbin instead of on the game, just in case we get kicked off the servers, but we will see. Anyways, back to the patch. They didn't give us any heads up on this. They just said FC version 1.4.2 is now live, and here we go. It's live. Download it and you're good to go. Well, I mean, this small of an update doesn't really need too much of a conversation. They addressed an issue where goalkeepers deflected the ball too accurately during a save, and then inaccurate knuckleball shots could have occurred more often than intended. A couple of small career mode clubs changes and some audio and visual changes, right? Well, it seems like there's more than that was happening with this gameplay patch, because a lot of people noticed yesterday after the patch that finesse shots felt different. We were talking about it in the stream. You guys are saying, Nate, you got to try out finesse shots. They feel a bit off. And I would 100% agree with that now. After playing like 9 to 10 games yesterday in the gauntlet online, normal ping conditions, normal everything, finesse shots felt inconsistent. That's the way that I would describe it, because there were times where finesse plus Lionel Messi and even finesse-based Pedri would score normal finesse bangers, because finesses are still very overpowered. But there'd be other times where they'd take a finesse shot and it would seem weak and it would seem inaccurate. And it felt like you have to do like double the power on the shot to get it upper 90 where you'd want it to go. But then other times you put, you know, that extra power because you're feeling like finesses are kind of nerfed, and then they go flying over the bar. It just feels like finesse shots, something was changed with them, probably unintentionally. We've seen this happen before, right? It feels like a shadow patch, because things change in the game that aren't mentioned in the pitch notes or the patch notes, and then we're like, well, what the heck happened? Like, what's going on with this? Why did this change? And that's a little bit of what this feels like. So if you're feeling that same situation, let me know in the comments. Or if you're feeling anything else different with the game after yesterday's patch, I felt like it was about the same everywhere else, except for with the finesse shots, except actually in the menus and just with glitches and random disconnects. Like yesterday on the stream, I opened up the stream and there was music playing in the background, which is not good for copyright issues if you're streaming the game. So I had to turn off those settings again because some of those audio settings were reset. And then also, this is kind of becoming a big issue. If you guys have got this message, well, it seems like a lot of people have, but the data mismatch error message seems to be going around a lot more after the patch as well. And we've kind of figured out, with the help of some of you guys in the chat and some of your responses on tweets that I've seen, is that it has to do with the Future Stars Academy evolution. So if you're getting that data mismatch message, try taking that Evo out of your squad entirely and sending it to the club. Some people did that and still had to reset the game like 10 times, like close app, reset game 10 times before the game would actually let them play without getting that data mismatch issue. So I think it all has to do with these cards not getting the chemistry that they're supposed to get. These cards are supposed to be on max 3 chemistry by themselves when they're in a squad. With nobody else in the squad, they should have 3 chem. But if you try it, and you'll notice that some of the times they're not. Some of the times it's messed up and they won't have that boosted chem. So that is to be the pinpoint of the issue, we believe, as to why that is happening right now. One nice thing about the Future Stars Academy Evos is that EA just extended the duration on all those by a week. So that's going to be really nice. And that actually might make some of the crazy Evo chains that people were doing with like those center backs that I was saying a couple of days ago to be very careful with because it might not be possible. Well, it actually might be possible now because you're going to have, as you can see here, more time to get these Evos done, which means if you can level up in the season pass and get to level 24, level 26, level 28, where some of those good Evos are for these chains, you might be able to make that crazy German center back or the crazy Jair Cunha center back Evo as well with the crazy pace and anticipate and intercept and stuff like that. Now, speaking of glitches, one more thing we have to discuss is no loss glitches or disconnection glitches, because there's been a disconnection glitch that has been going on in this game for almost a month now. There's the select squad glitch, which was basically in some specific game modes where when you go into the event, you can choose select squad, and there would be a glitch that when the ball went out of bounds, the game would disconnect after going into a game here. If you ever saw the ball going out of bounds and then the game DCing right after that, that was somebody who was either on purpose or sometimes inadvertently, because I did it inadvertently like a couple of times because I'd log in, play, I'd hit select squad, change my team, and go in, and then it wouldn't work. So that's what that glitch was, and that's what was happening. But allegedly, EA have patched that. Now, there's a different glitch that was going on in the last week or so called the switch account glitch, where if you were in a game and you switched from an account on your PlayStation to another one, I believe it only worked on PlayStation, by the way, but if you went down here, switched from your account, hit switch user and went to somebody else and then went back to the game, then it would actually disconnect you and you would either get the game counted to for scoring for an objective, or you would get the win if you were ahead. So it was basically a disconnection glitch. Now, people who did that in Foot Champs were handed 2-week bans. So that is just one good reminder that when these gameplay glitches come up or you figure out some way to kind of get ahead a little bit in that way, especially with gameplay, they can ban you. I mean, for 2 weeks, that's not the worst thing ever. If we're being honest, they've done like lifetime account bans before for some of the gameplay glitches. But just wanted to make that known because I mean, there is that kind of no loss disconnection glitch that is going on right now. I mean, look at the YouTube short, the TikTok, the Instagram reel that we posted just yesterday, just last night. I witnessed it twice on stream yesterday while playing the Gauntlet. People using that glitch to either get a goal scored and count for them, or to get a win in a situation where they were losing. I was up 2-0 or I was up 1-0. They came back and scored 2 goals and then did the disconnection glitch to get the win. I don't get the loss off of that. It doesn't count anything negatively for the other side, which is nice. But at the same time, it's kind of like, well, what the heck? That is a glitch. So I understand why a lot of people want to do the glitch as well. I really do, because we had that friendly mode that was really good for Evos, that was golden goal, right? And that was the last season, and it was super fast to get Evos done, to get that objective done. That was the place to play if you needed stuff to get done quick, right? Well, now we don't have that anymore, and we really like that. So I think those glitches were kind of a way that people could still get that feeling. But just be careful doing glitches of any sort, of any kind, because it could end up negatively, and then you could be cooked and your account could be banned in some way, and we don't love that. Now, as it seems, the servers are going down as I'm making this video because my evolution is not showing up there, and it says there's no available evolutions. Good thing the internet still works, because we have to talk about yesterday's new content from Tuesday, and there was a Evo that was dropped yesterday. It was called Link Up Boost, and this was leaked pre-content, guys. If you did miss it, there was cards like this Kamavinga, like Cruyff, I think moved up a little bit. The Reinders card and the Kefrem Turam cards moved up crazy pre-content. Well, what happened to them? Most of them went down because this Evo, while it isn't bad, it's also not crazy. It gives a +2 overall boost, incisive and tiki-taka base up to 8 playstyles, and it does give passing as the parameter upgrade up to 90. And that's maybe the highlight of this Evo, getting your passing +7 up to 90. And this Vieira card is maybe one of the better cards in this Evo. Again, you're sacrificing a +2 on the rating, so you can't put too many more Evos on him, at least right now. But he does look pretty good, and that's a boost that he needed, right? He needed a passing boost, gets a bit of a shooting boost as well. And you can see Vieira's card yesterday was not really invested in for this Evo. But he is up. He was like 880 to 900,000 coins, spiked right away at content to 1.1 mil. and now he's a million coins still. So his price is kind of going up. I think that Kamavinga card as well is up some as, yeah, he's like 375, 390. If you look at his graph from yesterday, he started the day in the low 300s. So an out of packs rare special card like Kamavinga actually did end up rising post Evo, but most of these did not. And that was yet again just an okay evolution that we had yesterday. It definitely wasn't a fantastic one. Now let's see if it'll load. Yeah, it's not going to even load SBCs for me. So we'll go back to Footbin to take a look at yesterday's SBC content, which included a Future Star striker, Etta Young. And guys, this one's kind of hilarious. I don't know if you saw the tweets yesterday, but his base silver card is a striker with jockey and slide tackle playstyles, but advanced forward plus. And his future star card here does not have jockey or slide tackle, but he's got quick step, finesse, power shot, press, precision header, game changer, incisive, and technical. It's only 51,000 coins. It is pretty cheap. So if there's a reason for you to do that SBC, there you go. Just an intriguing card nonetheless. And then also yesterday, we had the 86 plus ×2 upgrade. Guys, the upgrade packs are what I want to talk about from yesterday's content. They were fantastic. They were the best part, right? The 86 plus ×2 is only an 83 rated squad with an inform. And we're going to talk about informs because they are moving. But this is so much cheaper than the 86 by 2 that we had 2 weeks ago when it was last out. So that SBC is phenomenal. But the best SBC of the day yesterday itself was the Future Stars Team 1 upgrade. The guaranteed packs are back, guys. When I saw this pack code added to the code yesterday before content by like an hour, that is what crossed my mind, because I was like, we don't have any objective packs right now that say we're going to get a guaranteed Future Stars player. And I was like thinking back to the spring and to kind of the promos after Team of the Year in previous years. This is that time of the year where EA usually release those guaranteed promo packs for the team that is in packs. It's actually such a nice and fun thing to have, is that a chance to pack one of the promo cards. Now, sure, the odds of you packing a Voltamada or somebody like even Alyssa Thompson or like Due is very, very slim. And these are like super cheap upgrade packs. You guys see this SBC, right? It's also an 83 rated squad with an inform, I believe. Yeah, so it's literally 20,000 coins. But at 20,000 coins, it's virtually free. And the worst you're going to do is a card that sells for minimum price 10 or 11,000 coins, right? Even if you get literally one of the worst cards in the team. But even then, it's so easy to complete. You just kind of have to do it. And that's the fun part about these. You can't expect much, but it's always a must complete. Yesterday, we had multiple people in the stream pack Voltamata, and he's 400,000 coins plus, right? We had a lot of people pack this Eduardo Quaresma card. He's 38,000 coins. We saw a Lejuli yesterday. And then, of course, we saw a lot of the fodder down here. Like we saw, you know, Luna once. We saw, I actually packed Nusa yesterday for my 9-win Foot Champs rewards. We saw a lot of Castro, a lot of Reed, a lot of Pete Zueski from Porto. So, yeah, you have a lot of fodder. But, like, what I'm most excited about for this and what I like about this is just a cheap, fun pack SBC to do every single week, hopefully, throughout the rest of this year. Maybe it's not going to be every single promo. It's going to depend a bit. But you also see in here there's a guaranteed Future Stars Team 2 pack that's added to the code. And we're going to take a look at some of the Team 2 leaks for Future Stars. They do look kind of crazy. So that's probably something that we're going to get next week on Tuesday, because this SBC is out for a week. So with that being said, make sure you get that opened and you get that pack done over the next week that it is out. Now, speaking of SBCs, if it lets me load it, we got to talk about fodder. Guys, informs, yeah, it's not going to let me load it. Informs are going up like crazy. If you invested in informs on the weekend, you're making bank. Right now, informs are, am I seeing 15,500 coins? Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Yesterday, these cards were 11, 12,000 coins. Boom, instantly after content with the 83 by 10, the 2 more SBCs that were released that we just went over with an 83 squad and an inform required, you're seeing those cards do very, very well. I think you want to sell those Team of the Weeks probably today. Like, I actually have still all of my like 20 or so team of the weeks that I bought. I will most likely be selling those today on Wednesday around the content drop time, because that's when we should see, again, more demand for the SBCs that are going to refresh today, like the 83x10. The guaranteed pack, of course, unfortunately, does not refresh today. The 86x2 will, but we could have a campaign pick that comes out today. That means more demand for fodder in that realm as well. Now, speaking of fodder, guys, did you see the high rated fodder yesterday? Like, I went to do the Marcelo SBC and I didn't realize how much fodder had gone up since Foot Champs rewards ended. It was like yesterday, people noticed that they weren't getting any more cards from rewards, but they had coins and they just went out and finished all the SBCs. 37K for Rodri. He's 55K. He's gone up almost 20,000 coins in one day. If any of you guys got involved yesterday during or after rewards, GG's. That was, I think I mentioned in yesterday's video, it's like maybe it's a long shot that 89s could go up because they were like 20,000 coins. They're 27K. That's crazy. That was absolutely wild. It's like everybody decided yesterday after Weekend League ended, oh, hey, I got to go finish Marcelo because he only has 2 days left, or I got to go finish this, that, and the other. And those cards absolutely flew. Look at 91 rated. 93K. What were they yesterday? 75. Crazy rise on the high rateds. All because of the SBCs that are still out, I believe. The new SBC, like the 86x2 coming out, helping people craft, and just like Marcelo and some of those others ending, and the lack of supply from Weekend League rewards ending as well. Fodder is absolutely flying. So I think you can sell some of that today if you want to as well, and then, you know, be liquid into the weekend. Now, also, like I mentioned, and it's not going to show my transfer list, but we got future stars cards that are moving up very nicely on the market as well. I actually, right before this maintenance hit, I bought 2 Alyssa Thompson. The Alyssa Thompson that I bought on the video yesterday at 619,000 coins, I just sold her for 827K. Crazy rarity spike. Like, she's not been at all near that price in the last day. But you can see that yesterday, cards just rose. They rose in the morning a bit, and then they kept rising as well. I picked up some Nusas, and unfortunately, I should have bought more of him because he went up even higher after content. I bought Nusa right here at 120. He went all the way to 140 where I sold him, and then he was even 150 for a quick second after the content drop yesterday. So if you bought any of those future stars, GG's. I mean, they could come down a little bit today or like tonight on Wednesday night before Rivals rewards, but I think that they would be still up in price from where they were last night heading into tomorrow on Thursday. I don't think Rivals rewards is going to supply them that much. It is very nice to see them moving as much as they are. Now, let's keep it moving because we got to talk about a lot of leaks that are incoming. But one last thing to mention with the market. Get out there and get flipping, guys. Get out there and get flipping. Get on bids. Get on snipes. Cards are still moving. Player prices are fluctuating. Look at the winter wild cards. Like, boom, 312. I would be buying that if I could right now, but the servers are down. 312 for Nico Williams striker. If you look at his graph yesterday, boom, 317 up to 340 basically. And even look, that's an undercut, and then he's one card away from being 340. Just sold at 345 and 344 in the last hour or two. Perfect example of fluctuation trade right there. Now, I wish I could click into stuff for the menus, but servers are down at the moment. So let's go back to Twitter and look at the leaks. Let's look at Future Stars Team 2 news, guys. And really, one more big SBC. If you're like me and you started the Micah Richards, a.k.a. Big Meeks SBC, you're looking at what was just leaked and you're thinking, ooh, did I make a mistake? Maybe you didn't. Maybe we didn't, because that's still a new hero to the game. But one of the biggest right backs is leaked as an SBC. Cafu Winter Wildcards is coming as an SBC. Now, of course, Cafu's always one of the, or if not the best right back in the game with his playstyles, with his stats. It's Cafu. He's an icon. Just a card that whenever he comes out as an SBC, usually we're very interested in. Now, of course, we had the player pick SBC earlier this year between Carlos Alberto and Cafu, and with the playstyle pluses being so important and Carlos Alberto having Anticipate Plus, not as many people did this Cafu, but this Winter Wildcards Cafu could be a different story. He's around 1 million coins on the market. He's been between 900 and 1 mil kind of during Team of the Year and after, but how much would this SBC cost? If they've been, with the way they've been pricing SBCs recently, this SBC could cost like 900K. And sure, that would be another kind of expensive one in the grand scheme of things. But to be completely honest, that's a right back card that you could craft, put in your team for a good while, and be set. Now, he only has one playstyle plus, and maybe that's a bit of a detractor to this one, but I still think it's Cafu, and it's worth watching. If he's super cheap, you could see some other right backs drop on the market, but that's really what it's going to come down to. How much is EA going to price this Cafu at, and when is he going to come out? Because originally, like we were saying, oh yeah, there's some icon SBCs like Marcelo and stuff that are expiring. So what is EA going to replace those with? Well, here's one of the answers, but is this an SBC that could come today, tomorrow, or, which I think this is more likely, could he release on the weekend? Maybe Saturday, maybe Sunday or something like that. But that is the biggest player SBC that is leaked right now. We do have a couple of other names, of course, the Danny Olmo, the Doumbia. We're waiting for official stats on those, but that is a pretty big leak there. Speaking of other big leaks, to continue on the conversation we had in yesterday's video about Future Stars Team 2, the full thing is leaked. Now, we have official stats for some cards. Just use this as a nice image of what players are in. We've got some nice icons. We've got some big names. Hazard's in, Carvalho is in, Alex Scott is in, of course, Leonard Carl, Nico Paz, Dean Huijsen, Calafiore, Baleba, Vuskovic. You've got Akliush, Esme Brooks from the women's Barca team is in, Matsukubo is in, Wesley, Philogene is in this promo as well, Krupi, and then you got Ricardo Pepi and Oderbert. Wow. And McGlynn. Wow. The USA guys and the USA girls getting a lot of love with the Future Stars here. So I think this Team 2 looks really good. And especially when you see the stats of this one card that was leaked yesterday, I cannot believe what I'm seeing. Okay. Not all the cards look this crazy, but what is that Gareth Bale? What is that card? That is a huge +5 boost on Gareth Bale over his Thunderstruck item. No other icons, even in Team 1. Some people were saying yesterday that they gave Bale this big of a boost. It's like Eusebio. He's the face of the promo for Team 2. Eusebio's boost is nowhere close to Bale. Bale got like +5 in a good number of his stats. He's got 97 pace, 95 shooting and dribbling with finesse and rapid, and he has 80 defending. If this card has left back as well, like, that card might be 10 mil. If Maradona is 7 mil, that card should be 10 mil. That card looks like a footies card. I look at that and I see 95 plus and 3 stats. I'm like, what month is it, EA? It's February? No, it actually looks like June with a card like that being released. So I'm obviously, that card looks nuts. And if I pack that, if any of you guys pack that, that'd be phenomenal. But he's in packs, and we know it's probably not going to happen. Neither is it going to be possible to pack Pelé, most likely. He's got finesse and incisive. Hazard looks really good with the finesse and the tech. That's a solid boost for him, too. Abiley's getting another card. These are official stats, once again, by the way. That's why I'm making such a big deal about that Bale. Tiki Taka and pinged for a Billy. We got Smith from Arsenal with low driven and tech. And Leonard Carl looks saucy. 93 pace and 93 dribbling with 90 pass and shooting. And the 2 playstyle pluses that are absolutely phenomenal. So if you did the Evo version of Leonard Carl, it doesn't look too far off of this. Now, if this card has 5-star skills and a 5-star weak foot, then maybe it's not as good, but it's actually not that far off the chain. I know that we were talking about that in yesterday's video, because I think the Evoke version of Carl has like, what, 91 pace and then 90, 90, 91 or something like that. So not far off. Crazy card. And that is one of the good things to counter what we talked about in yesterday's video. If you just did an Evo for a player and spent a whole bunch of time and effort in it, and then EA releases a promo for them, but you see the promo card is like millions of coins and your Evo costs you like 100K, you're like, ha, EA, I beat you this time. So that card looks sick. Also have to mention this. In the stream, we were making jokes yesterday about what is the best trading method going to be during this week 2 of Future Stars. Well, the joke is that Carl, Leonard Carl, would be packable from bronze packs because he has a bronze base card. So best trading method would be open bronze packs, do BPM in the store, and then potentially pack a 91 rated Leonard Carl that would sell for millions. The odds of that happening are slim to none. But, I mean, some of you guys have even packed, you know, Future Stars from the bronze packs and silver packs this week. But that card looks crazy. Dean Huijsen looks good. 93 defending. That's a very high defensive stat with anticipate and long ball. And then Fermin with low driven and incisive. Those are, again, all official stats. There's a couple more official stats leaks. We got Paul Scholes, Tiki Taka, and long ball. It's going to be a very usable version of his card. That looks fun to use. Of course, there's the Fermin. Nico Paz, I think that's a typo on the defending. We think it's going to be 67 defending, but 90 passing and 90 pace, 93 dribble with incisive and tech looks good. Bergkamp with low driven and game changer, 93 dribble and 93 shooting as well for his card. I would expect more official stat leaks to be coming today on Wednesday as well. Now, speaking of Wednesday, let's finish out the video. Since I can't click on anything in this game because it's going to say disconnected, but let's finish out the video by talking about what content that we're expecting today on Wednesday. First of all, I would be expecting a new campaign player pick refresh. Of course, that's one of the SBCs that comes out every single Wednesday. The one that they released last week, of course, was the 1 of 3, and we were surprised by that because during Team of the Year, we had a 1 of 4, but they added in Time Warp and they took out, I think, another promo from that one. So just keep an eye out for that one. It's going to expire today if you want to do that one last minute. New one should be coming out there. And then player SBC wise, we still have Doumbia, Danny Olmo, and the Cafu leaked. If I had to just guess at which one could maybe be today, my guess would be Cafu. I could be wrong on that one. We could have another leak of kind of a random player like we had with the card yesterday. But, you know, that's just something to watch out for. These, to me, seem like weekend type SBCs. So really today, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot. But there is one little guaranteed interesting part here. The Champions League official Twitter account posted that they're going to drop this new kit tomorrow. It says claim the new kit. So hopefully it's free, or maybe it'll be in a SBC. It says 25 years of UCL Knights in Adidas Magic. That actually does kind of look like a sick kit. So if that's dropped via SBC and it's not an 86 rated squad, we'll be happy with that one. Also today, new team of the week. Yeah, I can't even connect to Ultimate Team at the moment. That's cooked. Well, RIP getting any icon swap tokens for me right now. New team of the week is going to be happening today as well. And like we'll always say, like maybe there's a leak for an evolution. Who knows? That's something to keep an eye on. But guys, still the Evo leaks have been super duper quiet recently. There hasn't been much news. Like yesterday, the Evo leak was, you know, even small. Even though it did make the market move a bit, it was still pretty small. So since we're in that stage of the week though with Evo leaks, even if we're going to get a really good evolution like this weekend, you could see some leaks like that start as early as today. And that's just kind of one thing to watch out for as well. On the market, get on the bids, get on the trades, guys, because there's still plenty of money to be made. The fluctuations, the graphs, tell the story, get involved, and get trading. I think that's going to be the video for me today, guys, because, well, we can't really do too much else. I will catch you guys in the stream today. Let me know what you think down in the comments about the patch, about the SBC yesterday, about the leaks. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. And I will see you guys in the stream today. If you enjoyed this one, drop a thumbs up on it. Comment down below if you have any questions before. Subscribe if you're new. Catch you in the stream today. It's been TheFutAccountant. See you there. Peace out.